Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to do a little bit more work on the car. I'm actually testing on my selfie stick right now just to see how well the footage is and if it's really shaky or not. Because I know when I'm holding the camera, my hands tend to shake, so footage tends to be a little bit more shaky. It's not as smooth. Right now the selfie stick seems to be working kind of good. So today we're actually going to be self-etching primering the passenger side. So the passenger side is, I know it's a little late, but there was some surface rust kind of forming on some of the weld area. So what I did was I sanded it down, and it was also not very smooth. I guess I don't know why it wasn't smooth, but I ended up refining the area. It's pretty good now, it's pretty smooth. And then I sanded down this area and also the back. And I PO worked 15 the back so that later on I could etch prime it or epoxy prime it and then undercoat that area so that it's all sealed. But today we're just going to be etch priming this area where there's bare metal and stuff. Etch primer can go over the Bondo, it's not a problem. So we're just going to get to work and I'll show you how it's done. So basically I'm going to start off by masking up this whole area some more. Well, I guess before I do that, I should use the air compressor and blow out some of the dust. Now it's time to clean the area up with some wax and grease remover. Spray some compressed air to dry the area. Now it's time to lay a plastic sheet to cover the floor and areas I don't want overspray to hit. Time to mask the area. Yes, I'm using newspaper, but newspaper is free and masking paper costs money. Plus, the etch primer won't be wet enough to penetrate through the newspaper. Now to tack rag the area to pick up any little bits of dust. Time to start spraying. I'm going to spray the back of the area first. Now here we go. I'm coating the area with etch primer. The spray can handle really helps and provides a lot of control. There's coat 1. I'm using a heat gun to speed up the drying process of the primer. I gotta make sure to keep the heat gun moving or else I'll burn the paint. Here you can really see the heat gun drying the primer. You can also wait the recommended time printed on the can. Now we're ready for our second coat. I did about 3 to 4 coats to ensure the areas I wanted covered are covered. Plus, this will give me more material to sand and feather out when I do the epoxy primer. The tip here is to use a light to check if there's enough coverage, which I'm using my trouble light for, but it was also really dim, so I needed a little extra lighting in the area. Now I'm etch priming the wheel well in the driver's side, which I re-repaired. The same process as the passenger side rocker. I'll be doing the driver's side rocker another day because I'll be needing to refine the area and smooth it out before I primer. Alright guys, so one of the things I'm going to be doing today is basically seam sealing the inside here. You notice that the gap is still there, so we should actually seam seal all this new welded metal. Otherwise, when water or whatever gets in here, it's gonna corrode everything, and you know the whole process is gonna start all over again. So I'm gonna basically start by wiping off all the weld through primer, and then I'm gonna like add a whole bunch of seam sealer on here just to fill the gaps. That way it's kind of filled and it's good to go. Alright guys, so that's the seam sealer applied. It was too difficult to film this and show you guys the application process, but all you do is just get a brush and brush it on. I'll show you guys the seam sealer that I used in a sec. I did both the passenger side and the driver's side. So as you can see, that's the seam sealer. It's not pretty, but it provides a corrosion resistance. So, you know, it is what it is. No one's gonna see this area anyways once the panels are back. But if you were to go like strip the panels or something, obviously it's not gonna look good if it's in like a race car. But if it's a race car, you don't really care anyways. But yeah, I tried to get it as far in there as possible to cover up any of the seams. So once it's dried, that should provide a good flexible seal. So this is the seam sealer that I used. Some Dominion Sure Seal brush on seam sealer. Works pretty good. Dries up pretty nice and solid. So this stuff is not bad. It's not cheap though. But it is one of the cheapest options you can get. You know, I'm not a professional body guy or a body shop or anything, so this is as good as it gets for me. And good thing about a can, it's resealable. So this brush is basically garbage. You seal it and then it ends up being all sticky mess and stuff. You're not going to be able to save this. I tried to use a foam brush, but that didn't work out so good. So you have to use a bristle brush. Here's a look at the Etch Prime driver quarter panel area. And here's the Etch Prime passenger side rocker panel. Came out really good and provides some corrosion protection until I get to epoxy priming and painting the car. Alright guys, so I just finished doing the Etch primer. It stinks in the garage right now, and I just got changed. My hair is a mess, so I'm still wearing my toque. But basically, it's done. It's waiting to dry. I have my fan on, just airing out the garage right now. But yeah, it looks pretty good. It's all blended in. It took a couple coats. I almost used up the whole can of, well, not really the whole can. This one can of Etch primer lasted me a while. I've done like certain areas, the back of the rockers and stuff like that with it. So one can seems to be working fine for me. But yeah, I'm just gonna get out of the garage because it stinks in here. It smells really toxic. I just took my respirator off. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, please comment, like, and subscribe, and share my videos. As always, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.